Good morning, friends. How goes it? I know it's been a while. 2 months, 3 months maybe. I'm still alive. The beard is still growing. We've got a lot of news going on lately with us, and I thought I'd hop on here and share it with my friends. Hope you've all been well. I have been keeping up with some of you on YouTube, watching, seeing what's going on, so I haven't been totally oblivious to what's happening. We've just had a lot of stuff going on lately with work and the business and with my boys, so everything's been too hectic to sit down for an hour or two and enjoy a pipe and make a video. So now everything's kind of calmed down a little bit, and I thought while I was driving to work today, I will make a quick video and say hey and let you know what's happening. So about 2 months ago, I was sitting out on the deck and I was making a video. I was making a video. It was about 2 months ago. I had found out from my boss that they were going to sell our shop, or look to sell our shop. They didn't have any kind of certainty as to if they could sell it or what the seller was going to do to the shop, if they were going to keep us. So everything was really up in the air for a good 2 months. And I had made a video, and I asked those of you who watch me, subscribe to me, who pray or believe in praying, that you would pray for me during that time. But I don't ever think I got to put up that video. So I didn't really freak out about it. I was making sure that we were taken care of. So I started looking at some other jobs and some other places, and I had made a mention to my boss, I would like to buy it. So he made a proposition to me that said, look, you buy basically everything in the shop, all the assets, all the inventory, and it's yours. And if you want to use the name, you just pay us a licensing fee, and I'll consult with you to get the business up and running and all that. So I thought, man, that's pretty awesome, but I don't have that money. And so we thought about doing like a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo kind of a thing, and that didn't end up. It hasn't ended up working. We are gonna, we've looked at other things, and so it just wasn't a secure deal. Banks wouldn't loan us the money because a lot of banks don't want to loan small businesses money, especially when you can't show that the small business. Basically, they want to give you working capital. They don't want to give small businesses startup capital, which is completely stupid. But anyway, that was kind of what we were up against, and we were trying to make things work. I had a couple of friends that that had some money, dough, and one of them was an investor or a stockbroker. Portfolio, I don't know, some kind of financial guy for Wells Fargo. Not exactly sure what he does, but super smart with money and with business. So I called him up, talked to him, gave him all the figures, asked him for some wisdom, and then asked him if he wanted to invest. Told him what it would be. He kind of thought about it, and he gave me some ideas of what I should look for. Then I talked to his son, which is a good buddy of mine. And he was like, dude, I would totally do it, but we just got a house and we're flipping that. We're getting ready to go out of the country to Israel for a week or two. So I can't do it. And I was like, yeah, I totally understand. Don't worry about it. We'll see what we can do. Excuse me, bacon. And that's kind of how it went. And so we just told my boss, hey, man, sorry, we just can't do it. We don't have the funds. We'd love to. Thanks for the opportunity. But I'll just work at the shop with the new guy, and if it doesn't work out, I'll work at one of our other locations, which would require moving across the country to the West Coast. So he was like, hey man, that's fine, I totally understand, you know, we'll just see what happens. Well, we just kind of let it go. And me and my wife were talking one day about it, because he had brought it back up, and he had sent me another email, and he was like, hey, I really want you to have the shop. And I've got a guy that's made a formal offer. I'll make this offer to you, and the offer got even better. You know, it was, you know, long-term financing, having like next to nothing up front. We would split it up into like 3 or 4 payments, you know, and all this kind of stuff. Then I'd get the website and all the online content thrown into the deal for free. They would host the website and all that. And I was like, wow, that's really good. And I said, let me think about it. That makes it a little more attainable. So me and my wife talked about it, and we remembered that my wife's dad had left her a trust fund or something like that, a trust, when he had passed away. And she had been getting monthly payments, and we didn't even think about trying to get that, turned into a lump sum. So we called up the trust fund people, and they were like, yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to take like 60 days. Well, now he gave us 4 months notice when he told us 2 months ago. So now we've got 2 months to go. So it's going to be coming down at the last minute on whether or not we have the funds. And I told my boss, I'm like, look, we may not even have the funds. You got this other guy's offer that's on the table. It's already good money. You know, just go ahead and take his deal. You know, and we'll just keep going. A couple days go by. He calls me. He was like, look, I've been talking to some investors and told them about you and the store. And they would really like you to have the store, and I really want to let you have the store. So here's what we'll do. You just put your name on the lease starting June 1st. And if your money's in, it's in. If not, we'll run the shop through the month of June or whatever the case is, and when your money shows up, it's yours. And I was like, what? So I was like, well, let me think about that. And he put me in contact with the landlord. The landlord contacted me. We emailed back and forth, talked to my wife about it. We got a terms agreement set up. And so I looked through the terms agreement. We went through some things, told him what I felt about it, made some changes and tweaks, sent it back to me. I signed the terms agreement, sent it back to him. He's signing the terms agreement. Now we're going to have a contract drawn up, and I'm going to be buying the shop, which is awesome. I've always wanted to have my own business, and I've always liked working with like cell phones, cell phone repair, any kind of repair really. So the place that I work, that I've been working at for almost a year and a half, I'm now buying. So the guy who was there, who was my manager, will now be my employee, which is awesome. Another funny thing, the guy who owns another business outside of town, owns a computer repair shop, he thought he was going to be buying the place. He was the other offer on the table. He stopped into the shop on Tuesday when I wasn't there. I don't work on Tuesdays. And he stopped in and met Nate, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be buying the place. Just checking in, see how things run, ask you some questions. Who's the other guy? How do you think things run? Do you want to change anything? I'm going to be doing a sign, another sign over here, and some roadside banners. Nate was like, yeah, man, the guy was really cool. He came in here on Tuesday, and he was just, it was really nice, and told us that he didn't want to change anything and keep us on, and everything would run like normal, and we'd get a new sign. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And I didn't tell him that I was buying the business. So to me, it was just funny that, I really wanted to tell him, be like, hey, man, don't worry about your job. I bought the place, but I didn't. He started saying all this stuff about the new guy who was going to be trying to buy the place. And I just totally let him go with it. It was awesome. And just to hear how he was talking, he's super excited, so I hope he doesn't get bummed when he finds out that I bought the place. Because I told him a while back I thought about buying it. He was like, oh, that'd be really cool. I think you'd be really good at it. And then I told him one day, I was like, hey, man, it just doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it. I haven't told him anything since. So I think I may do it like Chuck from Nerd Herd when he bought Nerd Herd. Nobody knew who the new owners were, and he didn't say anything. I think I might try and do it like that if I can keep the excitement in. But that about sums it up. What's been going on for the last 2 months? I didn't know what we were going to be able to do. Looked kind of grim. I didn't really want to move over to the West Coast to Seattle, because it's the complete opposite side of the world from my family. And my wife was really stressed out about it. She didn't want to move all the boys over there with all the care that the 2 boys are getting right now for their special needs. So God is good. And if you don't believe that, then this just goes to show that He is good. Because stuff was looking pretty grim. I said no to the business 2 or 3 times, and the deal still came back to me even better each time. So He is good, and the devil sucks. So take that little flake, pinch it up, stuff that in your life pipe, and smoke on that for a while. And hopefully you'll be able to smell that aroma and get that in your mouth, and that'll be a little more palatable for you. Hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk to you again soon. It's been too long, and this 12-minute video is too long. I thought I was going to do it under 10 minutes, but I didn't. Maybe next time. Adios, amigos. Vaya con Dios.